My name is Dr. Onyinye Eddie. I am the CEO of Classy Vision Opticals Limited. I was born in Onitsha in Anambra State. I'm the first of 5 children. I'm the only girl. I did my university education in Imo State University, and I did a second degree in public health in the University of Lagos. The major challenge I had in the process of becoming a doctor was visual challenges, because most persons with albinism have low vision. What it means is with the regular glasses or contact lenses, their vision is still below normal. They still struggle to see. So I had a situation where I have to do certain tests, and I either wasn't seeing anything or I wasn't seeing it well, so I can't give the result everybody was giving. I struggled for a while, but I had to devise personal ways to do the same tests and get the same result every other person was getting. The biggest challenge I have faced as a person with albinism is name calling. You know, things are better now. Back then, when I was growing up, you pass one street, children are clapping for you, singing, you know, words with a lot of derogatory names. I just couldn't go out. I hated going out, so I spent a lot of time indoors. And you know, this thing has an effect on the esteem of a child. I struggled with a very poor self-esteem all through primary school, secondary school. It was maybe midway in the university that, you know, I started reading a lot of books, and I got to know that it doesn't matter what others think of me, but what I think of myself is the most important. You know, the first few minutes a patient comes in contact with the doctor is very crucial. They're trying to weigh you, they're trying to assess you. Are you okay? Are you qualified to actually take care of my problem? Earlier on in my practice, I worked in Eye Foundation Hospital, and at the time, it was the best eye hospital in Nigeria. I didn't really have issues with a lot of patients there, but I think either 1 or 2 cases, I had a patient, a woman, I was to call her in, and she saw it was me, and she was reluctant to come in. And then the HOD then just told her, it's either she attends to you or nobody attends to you. And she had to. But of course, in the end, she was satisfied. I know that a lot of them, when they see me, they are wondering, can this doctor see at this distance, or is she bringing things close? So I am very deliberate about how I attend to those patients. So there are ways I can do these things even without coming so close. The perception and productivity of persons with albinism in coming years will be tremendous. I think there will be a huge difference between what it is now and what you will have in the future. I joined the Albino Foundation back as 2007 as a student. We're involved in a lot of albinism advocacy, education, because a lot of the challenges, like social challenges that persons with albinism face, is poor information or understanding about albinism as a whole. So we are doing a lot of sensitization, we are doing a lot of education, and we also target families, because sometimes the major work starts with the family before it spills over into the society. We have persons, parents that have children with albinism. We have to teach them what to expect from the child. We need to teach them how their child responds to certain things, and even the child itself has to understand him or herself better and how to protect herself better. In the clinic here, I also use this as an avenue, reaching out. Sometimes I have parents bringing their child and they know nothing about albinism. Apart from having the regular eye examination, I teach them, I educate them. Sometimes I give them free sunscreens. And the information you have out there now is quite different from what it was back in our days. Right now, I never really saw any person with albinism occupy important positions. I never saw any doctor or engineer. No, I wasn't seeing them in the streets hawking, or, you know, I didn't like where they were. So it's going to change now, because the children are seeing people occupying important positions, and that is a booster to them. And I know that with a lot of the work we're doing, in a couple of years to come, you see a lot of them occupying important positions in politics, in governance, and in different professional pursuits. The business support program of the Project Enable Africa has been very insightful to me. I knew about disability inclusion, but I didn't know the proportion of markets I was excluding before in my business. You know, they taught me a lot about that, and by next year I'm putting in place a lot of things to make sure I get that section of the market I am missing out from. I want to especially appreciate Access Bank and ACT Foundation for supporting the business support program of the Project Enable Africa, and I hope they sustain it to reach others that haven't been included in this batch. Thank you.